Okie doke, is this working? Why does it never want to pull up fucking Stream Manager? Understand. What is going on? Alright. Alright. Oh, fuck. Alright, I think that's working. Oh shit, it might not be working. Okay, now I think it's working. Friends! Enemies! So it's still under review. Last week, it had a lot of scuff. Still getting used to this after, Countrymen. I don't know if many of those exist anymore, based on the news and everything. But I had a lot of scuff last week. Wound up only streaming one day out of the week. We finished out druids, and this week we're moving on to fighters today. Got that little caffeine bump. And, I guess we're ready to roll right into it. Gonna do what we've been doing the whole time, and once again we're just gonna base the 4 subclasses off of the 3 main races and then the Sable Ink, because it's just such an easy thing to mess with and build off of. Scroll up, double check my formatting real quick. Okay. Oh, we are looking at see, how do they set it up? How do they set it up? I think it's just set up like everything else. Stream Manager's freezing on me again. Come on, Twitch. Alright, let's see. Basing the first one off the Echelon, all the fire imagery, we've been doing pretty well with that, so just Echelon warriors are not born with mastery. Opening up with an M dash, they earn it through ash, steel, and self-denial. These fighters are Trained in a strict manner. No. Martial tradition. Known as the Ember Blade. Where mastery over the self is as vital as mastery over the enemy. Their strikes are surgical. Their flames controlled. And their resolve absolute. This path echoes the Shaman ideal that to die and returned stronger is not a metaphor. It is national identity. Yeah. Try to pull a little bit of that Zoroastrian warrior priests of Persia into it. Like we've been doing with all the Ashalan themed subclasses and lore. Practitioners train under searing conditions, meditating, decide. Oh, I gotta think of the word. I'm thinking like the like a volcanic steam vent. Fumarole. Fumarole, that's what I was looking for. I knew there was a specific word for it. And sparring until collapse. Only to begin again. Gotta have that like phoenix metaphor roiling in there. These fighters are not berserkers. Wow. That was a fat finger. They are phoenixes with swords. Yes, ma'am. I would think you'd be tuckered out. You ran around for an hour this morning. Did you need more than an hour, baby? You needed more than an hour? Why did you flop down and refuse to move? Why'd you make me pick you up and carry you back home? Why'd you flop down and pretend you were dead weight and made me carry you home if you weren't pooped? You need to go take a nap. Yeah. You're a pretty babe. It's you're a pretty babe. Go take a nap. If you need to play, go play with your brother. Axel, come here. Yeah, play with your sister. Go get her. Get her. Go get her. Ah, weirdos. I'm gonna pop over here. I am going to steal my fighter table. Oh, you're back. Hello, ma'am. Oh, you're just gonna lay down next to me? That's okay. You can sleep right there. That's fine. We went with Ember Blade. Right. I've got that figured out somewhat. Yeah, it's fighter, so I know it's 3, 3, 7, 10, 15, 18 for gained subclass abilities. Because fighters are just built different. Usually one of them has, at level 3, has to do with a form, and the other one has to deal with proficiency in skills. I think for this, I want to do religion and insight. And I think I want to give it like a secondary ability, so like that's something that you always get is like religion or insight because of your training, but I want it to have like when you use your second wind, this ability also activates type deal. Because you're taking the time to breathe and reignite your flame. So, oh, I missed the end. There we go. Your training blends flame and focus. You gain proficiency in either religion or insight. Additionally, when you use your second wind ability, that's redundant. Your weapon ignites with symbolic flame for 1 minute while ignited. Upon a hit, your melee weapon attacks deal bonus damage, bonus fire damage equal to your proficiency bonus. You shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. And I think that's good enough. Then we need to do something with like forms, so maybe ember forms. I want to do something that like swaps. Like maybe we do something for like you use a bonus action to adopt a particular sword form. It lasts until the start of your next turn. And each of them does something for you passively, like maybe increasing your reach, AC bonus. If you hit, you can move without provoking opportunity attacks. Just something that's quick to do. Learn to adopt one of 3 ember forms as a bonus action while wielding a melee weapon. Each form lasts until the start of your next turn. You can... Well, you don't really need to worry about switching forms as a bonus action, would you? Because you're already doing it. Form of the Phoenix. Talent. Your reach increases by 5 feet until the start of your next turn. Oh, yeah, that's simple. Nice and simple. That's all we really need. Form of still cinders. Not to be mistaken with the Whorehound. You gain a +2 to bonus to AC until the start of your next turn. But you cannot take dash or disengage actions during this time. Otherwise, that's gonna get abused by multi-classing with rogue. Form of ashen steps. When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you may immediately move 10 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. Yeah, I think we're done with third level abilities. On 7th level. See, what do I want to do with 7th level? The first thing that always pops in my head, like around this level, and I feel like I keep using it on a lot of different things because it fits the Phoenix motif so well, is the being reduced to 0 but not being killed, so you come back at 1. Yeah. Just because if I don't, I'm gonna super slow down. So I'm just gonna let my brain take me where it's gonna take me. It's not like these aren't rough drafts. When you are reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, you can instead drop to 1 hit point and erupt in a burst of purifying flame. Had to find F. Each creature within 10 feet takes fire damage equal to your fighter level. Within 10 feet must succeed a dexterity saving throw. DC equals 8 plus 4 proficiency modifier plus your constitution modifier or take fire damage equal to twice your fighter level. Half on a success, just because I don't feel like trying to word that. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. 10th level. I think I want to do something that ties back to our 3rd level Ember Form ability. At this point, I want to give immunity to fear and maybe succeeding a wisdom or charisma saving throw. Yeah, it lets you enter like an Ember form as a reaction. 2. Succeeding those throws, and just for a passive, like the weapon ignition from Ashen Discipline, maybe that ignores resistance to fire damage now at level 10. And perishable discipline. You gain immunity to the frightened condition. When you succeed a wisdom or charisma saving throw, you may immediately enter an Ember form as a reaction. Additionally, your ignited weapon from Ashen Discipline ignores resistance to fire. Demolish. Yes, sir. What are we barking at? What are we barking at? Give me a moment. Alright, the great and staunch defender of the home was barking at a leaf as it flew by on the street. He is prone to do such things from time to time. Called being a dog. Shocking. Yeah. So we were at 15th level. Um, let's see. I want to do something where, like, if you're rolling initiative and you don't have any second wins left, you regain one. Kind of like a surge of adrenaline. I want to maybe at this point like a critical hit with that whole weapon ignition thing. Can blind maybe. Um, yielding. It should say yielding members. I'm pretty sure I hit the E. Pretty sure. When you roll initiative, roll initiative. Yes, and have no uses of second wind left. You regain one use. In addition, while your weapon is ignited, your critical hits with weapon attacks sear deep. The target must succeed a Constitution saving throw. DC equals 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your Constitution modifier. Or be blinded until the end of your next turn. As radiant heat overwhelms their senses. Alright. And now we're at 18th level. For 18, I think I want to add fire immunity. Maybe an additional 2d8 fire damage. Because you're level 18 at this point. If you stick with a single class to reach level 18, I mean, yeah. 2d8 isn't gonna kill anything at level 18. Maybe another callback to Ember Form, like if you reduce an enemy to 0 you immediately can swap an ember form without using a bonus action. Are you chewing on my chair? I know you're not chewing on my chair. Sovereign, your strikes become a Phoenix's judgment while your weapon is ignited. Because I think we should call back to both of the third level abilities. I feel like that flows really well for fighter. Your weapon attacks deal an additional to D8 fire damage. You are immune to fire damage. When you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you may immediately enter an ember form without using a bonus action. Additionally, your flame may not be extinguished by any means, mundane or magical, unless you allow it. Yep, that's good enough. Good enough. Good enough. And now I'm gonna come up here and I'm just gonna bloop everything into my table. Yeah, so that's the first one. So a Shaolin down. Now we've got Marathi, Dazi, and Sable Ink to go. I want to do something with, because we brought up in the Marathi lore about how they were a lot of oral traditions and they also wove their stories into tapestries and clothing rather than writing most of it down. So I want to do some sort of play on words with like uh seams and fraying, and maybe something to do with like stitches and threads. Mm. Like hiding things in plain sight. I want to tie it into like the way they fight in what is currently their modern era as well. Oh. So let's what do I want to name this one? Unseen line. It's not like it can't be. Yeah, we'll just go with this for now. Blades of the Unseen Line are not trained in barracks or war camps, but in corridors of whispered resistance among the Marathi. History is coded into lullabies. Rebellion folded into ritual, and the greatest warriors do not shout, they listen. Subclass. Oh no, I don't want to word it like that. These warriors reflect a style of martial combat developed under oppression, meant to survive scrutiny and strike with precision that echoes for generations. Yeah, good enough. clear these out. I think I want to do something with insight and stealth. And normally, I like to say if you already have proficiency, you can instead gain expertise. But I think what I want to do this time is if you're already proficient, you can choose from another from the fighter list. Because the whole point is for them to be a everyman, a jack of all trades, to blend in rather than to be a true expert in any one thing and stand out for it. I also think I want to do something with marking an enemy with this. And maybe you're going to gain like some bonus damage based on your wisdom modifier, because I feel like that's a dump stat for fighters. So you get bonus damage based on your wisdom stat specifically for a bonus to hit. Yeah, I want to do a bonus to hit because I feel like wisdom is a dump stat. So if you're kind of forcing a fighter into using one of their dump stats, oh man, one of their stats that they would normally pump a lot into might not have as much pumped into it. Because we're hiding in plain sight, right? So let's. Your awareness is as sharp as steel. You gain proficiency in insight and stealth if you already have proficiency in one. You may choose another from the fighter list. Ow! Additionally, when you roll initiative, you may mark one creature you see as your heir of reckoning. A symbolic rival or target until combat ends. You gain a bonus to hit against that creature equal to your wisdom modifier. Minimum is going to be +1. Because if you decide to still use wisdom as your dump stat, you shouldn't be, your ability shouldn't be penalized. You shouldn't wind up taking a negative. So I would say minimum +1 simply because it is an ability that you get with your class. You can read their body language. You have advantage on checks to test their deception or sleight of hand. You can only have one pair of reckoning at a time. You can mark a new creature when your current target drops to 0 hit points or the combat ends. Yeah, that works. That works for me. So what do we want to do here? I feel like with fighters, it's always best to do something with forms, like I did before. I feel like this is where they're each fighter subclass really gets their flow of how they're going to work is with their combat specific 3rd level ability. I think I want to do some stuff with this one where you can choose to do something now at this level, which means you're not going to get your attack, because what I want to do is you can replace an attack with a technique. So like when you get your extra attack at 5th level, you can now choose to forego one of the 2 attacks that you have in order to make an attack with advantage. And if it hits, now that target can't use reactions until your next turn. You give up an attack for the ability to move up to 15 feet and not provoke opportunity attacks. Maybe you're giving up an attack to give a target disadvantage on their next melee attack. Oops. What the fuck? Spinny steel. Oh, there shouldn't be a style hides meaning in every motion. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forego one attack to instead perform a thread technique. Yeah. Chosen from below. Each requires a melee weapon and does not provoke opportunity attacks. Braid seam. You make a weapon attack with advantage. If it hits, the target cannot take reactions until the start of your next turn. Stitch the silence. You move up to 15 feet and do not provoke opportunity attacks. If you end this movement adjacent to your Air of Reckoning, you gain advantage on the next saving throw against them. Snip the fail. You make a weapon attack. If it hits, the target must succeed on a charisma saving throw. DC equals 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your constitution modifier, or have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its turn. Which is gonna bring us to 7th level. I kind of want to do something with like adding your wisdom modifier to initiative rolls. And I want to add in a little bit of maybe if the Air Reckoning makes an attack against you and misses, you can make like a five. I'm thinking Pathfinder here with 5 foot step, but you can move 5 feet without provoking attacks of opportunity, and if that movement brings you adjacent to them, your next attack has advantage. Just I want this whole thing to feel like constant movement and advancing on one fuckhead in particular. I just realized my stream manager died on me. Call it maybe inherited reflex. Centuries of suppression have honed your ability to sense danger. You may add your wisdom modifier to your initiative rolls. Additionally, give me a second. I just got a low battery warning from my headphones. Or I should say my earbud. I wear one at a time in case my dogs start going crazy, so I can hear them, because they are sound canceling and they actually do a damn good job of it. Where was I? Additionally, when a creature you have marked as your Heir of Reckoning misses you with an attack, may immediately move 5. I was about to call it a 5-foot step again. Immediately move 5 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. If you end this movement next to your Heir of Reckoning, your next attack against them has advantage. What's going on? Thank you. Alright, we're moving on to 10th level. One of my favorite things to do is to give my monsters legendary resistance. Like even when it's just a base monster, it sets them apart from all the others. Like, say my players are messing around with a group of goblins, right? Well, the one that's always piping up when they go to hit all of them with like a mass like charm effect or whatever, to try to scare them away instead of fighting, because they know if they're going into a dungeon, they're not gonna get a chance to rest. And my entire goal is to use up their resources and make it harrowing for them by the end. So one of those goblins or kobolds or whatever is in that cave, when it fails, will be like, and it chooses not to. And all of a sudden, everybody's guard goes up. But they always complain that they don't have legendary resistances, which I mean is part of it, right? So I think at this level, I'm going to give something akin to it. If you fail the intelligence, wisdom, or charisma check, you can choose to succeed instead. Like give it halfway for them, because fighters aren't known for their mental faculties. I feel like players are going to see this one and give me a big ol' fuck you. Memory. You fight with the wisdom of exiled ancestors and forgotten teachers. When you make an... Oh, this should be bolded. Intelligence. Wisdom or charisma. I want to be saving throw. And fail. You may choose to succeed instead. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Also, once per turn, when you hit a creature you have marked as your heir of reckoning, heir puff reckoning. My bad. Oops. You may reduce its speed by 10 feet until the end of its next turn, and prevent it from taking the disengage action. And we are at 15th level now. Let's see. I feel like I'm getting away from the whole scene and everything theme that I was wanting to go with for the subclass. Um, need to, as a bonus action. Because I think what I want to do with this one is make it where you can do it as a reaction. And then they take psychic damage when it's done that way. You have learned to leave marks that cannot be undone when a creature marked as your pair of reckoning is reduced to 0 hit points by you or an ally. You may transfer the mark to another creature within 30 feet of them. As a reaction. That creature takes psychic damage equal to your Keystone modifier and cannot benefit from, you know what, invisibility until the start of your cannot benefit from invisibility while marked in this manner. Additionally, your Heir of Reckoning no longer benefits from cover from your attacks. Kind of like I will find you and I will kill you. You can run, but you can't hide kind of deal going on now. What do I wanna? I just realized I forgot to make quotes. Right. Let's see what I want to do here. Maybe 18th level, maybe give them blind sight. Maybe Yeah, give them blind sight. They gain resistance to slashing and psychic damage. Actually, that's those three things together are pretty fucking big. Air to silence. Your very presence unsettles systems of control. You gain blind sight to 10 feet, and you gain resistance to slashing and psychic damage. I feel like that's so small. Like it's such a it's a good big three things to receive at 18th level, but that little thing is so small. Let's see. Gotta make a quote. Your survival is legend. That. Your silence is louder than fire. Okay. I don't know what that is. I gotta go find what it is and turn it off. Alright, so that sound, my carbon monoxide detector is, apparently not working, so I am going to, I'm, I'm, I'm gonna finish this up because this is just a bit of formatting, and then I'm gonna end stream so I can figure out why it's malfunctioning. Because that's a no-go. I don't pay for that to be monitored, for that to not be working. So so let's just go ahead and pop these in where they belong. So there is that, and oh, I don't have a quote for this one. You know what? I will figure that out off stream because I wanna go take care of this. This is important. So yeah, sorry for the abrupt end. Sorry for ending early. But no one outranks safety. You guys have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow to finish out Fighter.